When we're designing lighting, we need to be thinking about whether we can get everything we need from artificial lighting. And the answer is almost always that we need natural light as well. I'm Ruth Kelly Waskett. I'm a project director at Hoare Lea. I'm part of our lighting team. I have a particular focus on daylight, natural light in buildings. So when I think about biophilia and biophilic design, I obviously like to put a lighting lens on it. So I was thinking about the term photophilia, which has been rather hijacked by the photography sector, but actually photophilia means thriving in sunlight and a love of light. And I suppose that's what really resonates with me. When it comes to biophilia, I'm thinking about the fact that we need natural light and we thrive in natural environments. And everything we do inside buildings, you know, we're not trying to replicate that, but we're trying to enhance the best of it and support it really to make people thrive. Biophilic design is important in our work in the sense of needing to, again, link with the natural environment and the fact there's a recognition now that we thrive in the natural environment because that's where our evolutionary history is. So in the work that we do in the team here, you know, a lot of our conversations are about that holistic approach to light. So we think about light rather than whether it's artificial or natural. We know that as humans we experience a combination of both. And it's a question of thinking about the 24-hour cycle of a building and the fact that there will be times when there's both natural and artificial light coming into play. And then there'll be other times when, you know, there's no daylight, when it's after the sun has set, and it's artificial light, and perhaps that's when, you know, there's a more theatrical conversation about the experience and the experiential side of what we do. So that's kind of our way to frame it. We thought it was a really interesting premise, you know, that the sort of wider conversation about biophilia, but the central role that light plays in that is the thing that resonates with us. And we also took the opportunity to tell that story, the one that I've been talking about the 24-hour nature of our experience and the fact that we don't just occupy a space that has a static lighting condition, that we move through spaces that have different lighting conditions, and that natural light is also changing, and maybe the artificial light is also dynamic in some way. So there's a kind of time dimension to it that we were really keen to emphasize. And also I think it gave us a great opportunity to showcase our holistic approach to light. As I was saying about how we like to talk about light in all its forms, natural and artificial, and how they interact with each other. But again, I think it really emphasizes the central role that light plays in this conversation, because people might not be aware of that. I mean, what I've noticed is that in the mainstream media, there has been a lot of talk about sleep over the past few years, which is fantastic. But one thing that I've found quite frustrating is the lack of light in that conversation. You know, a lot of it is about use of screens, devices, cognitive overload, you know, all those other things that are important. But you know, actually, light is the key to all of this, and I'm really happy to see this book, you know, as a way to highlight that to people. So another thing that has been on our minds lately is something that we've become aware of when it comes to infrared light and how we actually really need infrared light for our health. And with artificial light, we may have unwittingly removed it in the interests of energy consumption. I think that's going to be the next revolution. You know, I'm really excited about that because I think we've been going along a track of LED reducing energy, which is great. Then we're, you know, talking about the circadian side and how we can support that. And now I think we need to bring in the infrared into that conversation to kind of, well, I was going to say to complete the picture, but actually there's probably other things that we still don't know. So, you know, that's what makes it so interesting.